Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Wooden. I'll be your host this evening. I'm here with my co-host, Megan Dooley. Megan?
Hey, good evening.
It's good to see you back. We have Eric Sheshel with us today. Eric was here the last time.
Yes, he was.
And we found out that we had so much information to share that we asked him back this time. This show here is going to be dedicated primarily to all the events that you have coming up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them. But before we get going, I want to make a few announcements to the viewers. I think the first one.
Yes.
Megan, I want to thank Megan for being with us on the Veterans Corner. This is our last show.
It is.
Moving on to bigger and better things.
Yes. But I will miss this. I mean, you couldn't get any bigger than this. It was so much fun to be with you guys.
You were used to being on radio.
I was.
And for the viewers that don't know, you were on FM up in the Berkshires.
Yep.
You were FM at Weeby 108.
108, Star 99.9, and Weekends on PLR for a short while.
You worked with Brad Davis.
I worked for the legendary Brad Davis.
Yes.
Miss him every day.
Yeah. Nice. So you're going back to radio.
Yes, I am.
And we wish you all the best. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to have you here. I learned from you. And, you know, I've been doing this for a while, so.
Thank you so much, Chuck.
You're like I told you before, you're going to land on your feet again, and you did. and this is, we're happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Now let's get to the show before you make me cry. Just put on all this makeup.
Well, one more announcement. This is our last taping until the fall. Here we are, May 31st, and we're going to take the summer off, but you'll still see reruns of the Veterans Corner during the summer. So. And
the wonderful thing is, all our episodes are up on YouTube.
Exactly.
So if you want to find us there, you can watch us on demand.
Yeah. Eric, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
You're a regular here. You need frequent flyer miles. But that's a good thing, because there's always so much information that you have for the viewers. And every time you're here, we learn something. Yeah. So last time you were here, which was not too long ago, there was a lot of great information, a lot of recapping from the last time you were here.
Yeah.
But let's jump in for your service time.
Sure. So I was Air Force, the best branch, as we talk about it.
Well,
Air Force family, I have to agree.
I'm outnumbered here, so I'm still going to say go Navy. So
we'll allow it.
Okay.
So I was Air Force from 1999 to 2006, security forces, so like military police type stuff. So it was pre and post 9/11, which was a very different time, transitioning from where we were at peacetime to right after that, where we're going into war and everything like that. It was very, very different especially for my career field.
Yeah.
Everybody can joke about, you know, the Air Force and the Chair Force and hotels and stuff like that, but my MOC didn't really do a lot of the hotels and stuff like that. We were out in the field. We were out, you know, in the tents and stuff like that we were with the Army and stuff like that after 9/11 happened. So
I got to tell you, I was in transit in Bolling Air Force Base in D.C. and walked into in military terms, chow hall, and three-piece band. The Navy was supposed to have the best food, and we had some pretty good food, but it didn't compare to the Air Force. Almost made me want to transfer right then and there.
Did you get the lobster and the steak, a little surf and turf when you were there?
It was 100 years ago. I can't remember. But, you know, as always, we want to thank you for your service, the viewers, on behalf of the viewers and ourselves. Thank you for your service.
And thank you for yours and for your support. I really do appreciate it.
Let's jump into this, because there is a lot to cover.
This is the most wonderful thing about signing off for the summer, is that we have a calendar of events brought to you by Irreverent Warriors. But before we dive in, Eric, what are the Irreverent Warriors?
So the Irreverent Warriors are a veteran nonprofit that is based upon the mission, which is to bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. So we are all about suicide prevention. The biggest way that we do that is through our events. The biggest one, of course, being the Silkies Hike, which is something that every coordinator puts together. where all the military, the veterans, they come together, and we do a hike throughout one of the towns, one of the cities and stuff like that to make sure that we are providing a space and a place for veterans and military to come together with that humor and that camaraderie, cracking jokes, being themselves, being comfortable, and creating social networks and bonds amongst one another so that they can create that social network amongst themselves. I've always said that we're not coming out to the Silkies hike to be a part of Irreverent Warriors or to be there with me or anything like that. You're there to support one another. That's very, very important because, as I think I said it in our last show, was that the veterans are some of the only people that really understand one another.
Exactly.
And so being amongst other veterans and having the ability to be comfortable around other veterans really means a lot to the veterans in the military.
That's always, a thing that comes up on the show all the time, as far as, and that goes for any occupation, really. First responders, no one really understands them but the people you work with.
Right.
I mean, it's important.
And although the last time you were here, we spoke about May being Mental Health Awareness Month, how important is it to keep these conversations about community, especially in the veterans community, and continue these conversations about mental health?
They're important. They're so important. You want to have those conversations each and every day, every opportunity you have, and that's why like vet-togethers and getting together with your tribe, so to speak, is always so important throughout the year. We talk about the Silkies hikes, and the energy level is way up here at the end of those hikes, and you have an opportunity to then continue that. You want to keep that energy level here because you want to ensure that your veterans, your military members are taken care of and are being looked after and have the opportunity to look after one another. And so the mental health aspect is so important that you carry that on throughout the entire year. And that's where a lot of the events and stuff like that, the opportunities that we try to put together for the veterans, it's where a lot of that stuff comes in.
And you have basically a very busy summer coming up. Let's start with what's going on with June 24th with the Hartford Yard Goats.
Yes. So we are going to be at the Hartford Yard Goats Military Appreciation Game on Saturday, June 24th. They are, there's going to be an opportunity for us to do outreach out there. There's other organizations that are going to be there. The DAV, Boxes to Boots is going to be there. The Air National Guard, Army National Guard, Electric Boat, General Dynamics, they're all going to be there. And so they're all going to be in the concourses. They're going to have tables set up doing outreach and everything like that. One of the special things for this game is they do a military family of the month. And so they select a military family that has been submitted to go down and be recognized before the game as a military family of the game. Another thing that they're doing for this game is they're selecting 9 heroes of the game to be brought out to also be recognized out in the field. Wow. And I had one of my number 2, Chris Connolly. He was nominated, and I think he was selected as well. So he's going to be one of those. And I believe I was selected as well. So we'll be on the field before the game starts and stuff like that and everything, which is a very, I don't know, part of me doesn't even really want to be there because I don't feel like I deserve that kind of recognition and whatnot. But
you certainly do.
I back up Chuck on this. The amount of work that you do for the veterans community, it's well deserved.
Well, I appreciate
and
that.
And the fact that you are a veteran, you do deserve it.
True, I guess. Sure.
Well, so we take it you're a little bit nervous.
Well, it's not nervous. It's it's one of those things where I may not have. I don't like to compare military members in service and stuff like that. But I know that I probably did not do as much as others, or I did not have the same experiences. And so when you're able to reflect back, and yes, I did a lot. And I'm still trying to do a lot for my veterans and my military members and stuff like that. But to be recognized in any way, shape, or form, I kind of like to try to take a back seat because it's not important for me to be at the forefront. I want to be the guy behind the scenes, kind of making sure that everybody else is being taken care of.
I'm going to take a moment and comment on that.
Okay.
I had a long discussion with someone. I won't say the scenario. They were in the Navy. They were stateside in the Newport area. And they didn't go much further out from that. But this is what I explained to this veteran. We all have a role to play. And without that role that veteran played, it's part of the cog.
Yeah.
We all can't be at the front line. There has to be support. So your role that you played is just as valuable as the ones that are on the front. Without you, they couldn't be there. So your role that you played in the service is just as important. Just as important. So don't ever put yourself down for that.
Fair.
Because there's a lot of veterans that feel that way, and you shouldn't. There was a time where being in the Navy, and there are positions in the Navy, SEALs, CBs, they're on the front lines. When you're out on the water, you could be in a different venue.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't be fired upon. But you sit there and say, well, gee, these guys are over there dodging bullets. Well, if it wasn't for you sitting out there, backing them up. So we all play the role. There's a reason why these positions are in place. So, you're just as important. And don't ever think that you're not. I just wanted to say that.
No, that's important to say. Yeah. There is humility and there's being humble, but
we're all glad, part of the team, different positions.
And we're glad that the Yard Goats are highlighting you because you do very important work for the state of Connecticut. And I'm sure there are a lot of voices who would back me up in saying they also appreciate what you do. So it's time to give back to you a little bit and give you your little time.
I suppose.
Yeah.
You deserve every bit of that and then some. One of the things we forgot to mention to the viewers is that these shows are time sensitive. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they are repeated over time, over the years. I'm not sure this one will be because we're doing a show completely about events coming up. So yes. It probably won't be rerun. But we just want to let the viewers know, in case you are watching this on YouTube, 3 years down the road, this is 2023.
2023. Hi, future viewers.
Yeah, we've had people show up at an event on the 24th and no one's there. Well, that was last year. So we want to make sure that the viewers know that this is 2023. And that's when all these events are taking place. SailFest, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's down in New London. Everyone in Connecticut pretty much knows SailFest.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have never been there.
We need to change that.
Yeah, we do. Actually, Yard Goats. I've never been to the ball field. That's got to change too. On the 24th to honor you. But tell us about SailFest.
So, SailFest is probably it's the biggest boating festival on the East Coast, I believe, in New England. And we had an opportunity to submit an application to show that we were interested in being out there, and they wrote us back and they wanted us to be a part of it. So we were super excited that we got to be a part of that. Hopefully we'll get to reach out to a lot more people, kind of talk about our mission and who we are, what we do, and hopefully just bring more awareness. People are going to come from all over the state to be at this festival, and so being able to reach people that potentially from all over the state who may have never heard of us before. From all the corners of the state is very big. It's a very big deal, and I find it's very, very important.
Fireworks. That's a big festival then.
Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous festival, and you hit the nail on the head. All four corners of Connecticut and beyond are going to be coming down, and so it's more exposure, but also it's continuing the conversation. You guys must be so excited, and a lot of prep is going into that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, we're super excited. Just having the opportunity to be there and to mingle with the hundreds and thousands of people that are going to come through there throughout the day, throughout the weekend is enormous. It's big.
And now let's go on to event number 3, July 15th, the Newington Extravaganza. What's that?
So Newington every year does this Life Be In It Extravaganza up at Mill Pond Park. And we, kind of like with SailFest, we just kind of saw some things that were going on, and we wanted to do some outreach in different parts of the state that we don't typically are in. So we went out, did an application for them as well, and they accepted us. So they're bringing us out, allowing us to set up and again do some outreach and stuff for that as well. So that'll be it's a big fair festival. There's food, there's music, and all kinds of good stuff out there. Largest fireworks display in Newington in that area. Yeah. So it'll be another good opportunity to reach another part of the state that we don't typically visit.
It's easy to find too. It's right in the center.
Exactly.
And Town Hall is right there, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's right off of, what was it 175? It's right on 175.
I believe so.
I mean, no rest for the weary, because after July 15th, you're heading on to July 23rd, and that is, Chuck?
That is the South Windsor Veterans Resource Fair and Pool Party.
Yeah. So the story behind that, the individual that's putting this on, her name's Shauna. She's works for the town rec department of South Windsor, and they do a festival up there every year. And so this year they were kind of tailoring it towards veterans, which I thought was awesome. She had also volunteered at the Silkies Hike in the past, and so as soon as she had found out that they were gonna do this veterans thing up there at the veteran park, she called me. She reached out to me immediately and was like, "We want you guys to be involved. We know that you're the guy that we need to talk to," which again, it comes back to the humble thing. Who the heck am I? But okay. So her and I, we had a conversation. We talked for probably about a good hour on the phone, talking about what we can do to help. And so we're kind of helping them put this together. By base, I'm just sending emails to a lot of the other veteran service organizations out there that I know of, to give them the contact information so that they can all be part of this, because we want it to be it's going to be a big community event where the veteran organizations are going to be set up for a few hours, and after that they're going to break down and have fun with everybody else. So it'll be an opportunity to do outreach, but not only just the outreach, they're also going to be able to then be amongst the people and stuff like that. So they're not just showing up to work. They're going to have fun as well. There'll be cornhole. We're gonna try to do a few other games and activities. There might be a cannonball contest.
Oh boy!
And there's of silkies, people in their silkies doing cannonballs and stuff like that. So we'll figure it out. It's gonna be a good time.
I have a feeling that you are a cannonball champion. So for those who would be interested in entering that competition, how do you make the biggest splash? What's the best cannonball technique? Go.
I don't know. You kind of put me in the spot with cannonballs. I don't know. You just ball yourself up. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of the belly flop. More of a splash. You suffer a little bit more, but
you get pity votes.
But you get pity votes, and the splash is a little bit bigger usually. You get a loud smack after that. The cannonball, it's a splash, hooray! But you do a belly flop correctly. You get
to ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, you get a better reaction that way.
The dramatic
And then when you get out of the pool, you're doing some oohs and ahs.
Yeah, usually when you hit the water and you go under, you take that opportunity to scream because nobody can hear. Yeah. And so by the time you come up and you resurface,
a lot of bubbles.
Yes, you resurface and everything's fine. You act like nothing happened because you already got it out of your system.
There we go. I mean, I would pay to see that. We're coming down to the second half of the summer, and a very good friend of the show, Healing Hoofbeats. The Healing Hoofbeats Hoedown of July 29th, 2023. Yeah. Tell me about that.
So it's a free event for anybody that's interested to come down and learn more about what Healing Hoofbeats is and what they do. They're going to have live demos so you can see the horses. They have goats. They have their wonderful dog. Not really part of the therapy, but Penny is a amazing dog. Yeah. But the horses, yes. Yeah. You'll be able to hang out with the horses, the goats, all the other animals, obviously Renee and Nicole as well. And there's going to be live music, and there'll be other demos and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good opportunity to go out to the farm and see what really goes on out there. I took an immersion course last summer, and I got to say that being out there for that, if you're hesitant about equine therapy, don't be. There's organizations out there that do it and do it really, really well.
It's very effective.
It is. You get the animal connection, and I will say the Healing Hoofbeats, they do a very good job with it, and I enjoyed really being out there. So
we're going to have to speed up a little bit because there's about 6 minutes left.
We can do it.
But real fast, is that going to be in Bethlehem?
Yep.
Or Morris?
I think it's going to be in Bethlehem.
Okay, so at their,
Yep, at the farm.
I know they've had a few events at the old facility.
Right.
Renee's parents.
Yes.
yeah, there's yeah.
But also, Healing Hoofbeats will return on October 14th. You're teaming up with them again for Operation Warrior Horse, the Trailblazer hike.
Yes, so that's another event that they put on. That's their annual hike that they do. Also one that has live music. They do raffles and prizes and food and all that. It's another, it's kind of like a vet together. I push that because they've sponsored our hike last year and this year, and so we want to try to make sure that we give back, and then we invite everybody to come out to their events as well, because it's a hike. You're going through the woods and everything like that, and it's a good time. Like I said, there's live music and food and raffles and everything, so it's just another way to give back to other events.
When we come back in the fall, I'm going to try to get Renee and Nicole here.
You should.
One of the first shows. They've been on this show so many times.
Yeah.
Now, September 16th, this is the biggie, the Silkies hike.
Yes.
We've been over this before. We definitely have to touch on this.
Sure. We're doing something brand new this year. It hasn't been totally made public yet, but I'm going to make it public here. Yeah. We're doing a ceremony on the Chelsea parade deck to honor World War II, Vietnam, Korean War veterans. A couple months ago, leadership team and I, we were invited to come down to the Veterans Rally Point down in Norwich, and we did their peer meetup review. In that review, we talked with their group. Afterwards, a lady came up to me and asked me how she could get involved. She had a walker, and it really hit me, because we don't have a way for those people to totally be involved in any way that they want. And so what I ended up doing was the wheels started turning, wanting to make sure that they were recognized and that they are included in the event as well. And so what I did with my leadership team, we started coming up with a plan. And so what we're going to do on the Chelsea parade deck, we are going to march up, and they will already be seated. We're going to have the pop-up tents and the chairs for all of them. They're going to be there. And then we're going to march up. The hike element is going to march up, flags out front and all that good stuff. And we're going to do the presentation and the retiring of the colors by the Silver Dolphins are going to be there. Kat Lee, she's going to sing the national anthem. So that's all going to take place. And then I'm going to give a speech to make sure that we honor and thank those veterans for being there. And then once that's done and we leave the parade deck, we're going right down the street to Cangio's. And we're inviting them to come over and come with as well, to have lunch, and they can share stories, they can communicate, and they are actually being incorporated and being a part of the day. And it's very, very important that we do that, because we want to incorporate them.
Yeah. We got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
We want to touch about the fair?
Yes, we have so many tremendous events. August 19th is Norwich American Infidels Bike Run. September 22nd is the Veteran Strong Vet Stand Down. But one of the most exciting things I see on this is September 24th, the Durham Fair and Lee Greenwood. Eric, tell me how you're going to be partying it up with Mr. Greenwood.
I don't think I'm actually going to get that close to Mr. Greenwood on the stage. I know that, so my friend's band, Jason Ingerselli and the Miles North, is going to be opening for Lee Greenwood that day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's a big deal. Like, that's going to be awesome for them. I'm super excited for them. My girlfriend and I, we do their merch table. So she's the merch girl and I'm the band muscle. And so we found that the Lee Greenwood was going to be the show, after Jason's done. And so what I'm doing is I'll be inviting the military, the veterans community to come out, because who does not want to be there when Lee Greenwood sings his key song?
Of course.
So everybody's going to want to, I want everybody there being as patriotic as possible, showing support for obviously the Durham Fair, my friend's band, and then obviously Lee Greenwood.
Website
is Irreverent Warriors, www.irreverentwarriors.com.
Yeah.
And that's where you can find the list of everything that's going on this summer. I mean, you have a jam-packed schedule, Eric. It has been such an honor and a privilege to have you back onto the Veterans Corner. And I mean, you definitely have a busy summer. But again, we're going back to what we said about you being appreciated at the Hartford Yard Goats. The amount of work that you do for the veterans and the community, especially when it comes to mental health, it does make an impact. And for that, we salute you and we thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
With that being said, I want to thank the crew, as always. Without the crew, we wouldn't have the show. It wouldn't be in your living rooms. So we're in front of you, but the crew is what makes this happen. We don't have enough time to go through all the names, but you want to close out for the last time?
All right. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for watching another episode of the Veterans Corner. As always, you can find us on demand on YouTube. Just look up Nutmeg TV. A big thank you to Eric Schessel of Irreverent Warriors, telling us all about the fun summer events he has coming up, which you could check out on irreverentwarriors.com, correct?
Yes.
And for the last time, this is Megan Dooley for the Veterans Corner. Chuck Wooden is your host. He will be coming back this fall. And from everybody here at Nutmeg TV, good night.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!